So what we're going to do is look at the way that I set up my desktop after I activated in Windows. And the first part of this video is an advertisement for bobkeys.com, but I wanted to take just a second to tell you how I feel about activating Windows. I use my computer for banking. I use it for cryptocurrency and stuff like that I need to be secure. So I actually do not use any of the activators on my main machines, like the KMS or the hardware ID or whatever it is. A lot of people I've seen in the comments of these videos being like, just hack it. And I'm like, you know what? Even if those things are completely clean, I don't want to mess with them. I want a legit copy of Windows that I keep secure and sealed because, one time, if anything was to get messed up or I was to get a rootkit or something like that, and any of my data was to get out there, that would not be good. So that's why I always just, get a legit key from bobkeys.com. So the first half of this video, what we're going to do is go through how I set up Windows and what I do to get it activated. And then in the second half of this video, we're going to cover a whole bunch, and we're talking like a lot of applications that are really handy utilities that you may not even know about. Maybe some of them you know about, maybe some of them you don't. We're going to cover all the utilities that I like to use on my system and some that I don't use, but I still think are handy. So I want to, let you know about them. This is probably the worst thing on the planet. This basic wallpaper. You got the activate Windows thing here. If I want to come down here and change my taskbar, I can't. Everything's locked. That drives me crazy because I like a customized taskbar. Also, I want to customize if I want to personalize this, change my background, change my color theme to dark. I mean, this is the reason that I always activate Windows. The other thing that's interesting is some of the Windows update options are not going to be available. You can get all the critical updates and security updates, but some of the other feature updates you're not going to get unless you activate Windows. So let's go over to either our video or just go to Bob Keys. But here underneath our video, you'll see some links. I want Windows 10 Pro. You can get Office if you wanted to as well, but I'm going to get Windows 10 Pro. And you can make an account and log in. I've already done that, so I'm just going to click on Buy Now. And your promotional code is going to be TS30. If you're seeing this video in like a year, it'll be TS25 and you'll get 25% off. But right now we can get 30% off with coupon code TS30. And I get it too. Oh, it's not valid yet. They haven't activated yet. I've got to get 25% off. You guys are going to get more than me because I'm making this before the coupon code is activated. So anyway, you can see there, it's taken off to 25%. You'll get 30% off if you do the TS30. All right, so there, the payment has been accepted. Now this key is going to be added to your account. So you just go up here on the top and you click on your username and go to the user center. Over here, you'll see my purchase history. This one's still processing. It might take a couple of minutes. So after a couple of minutes, just refresh the page. And there we go. Click on View Keys and Codes and click on Get the Key. All right, now we're just going to go ahead and copy this key here. Push the Start button and then type Activate. That's our activation settings. And right here, it's like, oh no, we can't activate server, blah, 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 blah. What? Change product key. There we go. And then just paste it in there and then click on Next. All right, after that, it'll ask you if you want to activate. And of course, that's what we're doing here. So click on Activate. All right, so that took about 30 seconds and we're done. Now, I'll show you what I do to my copy of Windows. I always come down here on the taskbar and right click on it. I don't care about Cortana. This is totally up to you. It's subjective. And I also hide my search because it's huge and obnoxious. And then I like to make my taskbar small because it's pretty big right now. There we go. Small buttons on the taskbar. And that's good. Now that we're here, we can go ahead and click on colors and put it in the dark theme. There we go. How about green? Sure, we'll do green. Yeah, we'll do green. And then we can come in here and change our theme. You can change your desktop wallpaper. You can change the lock screen. Now we got download roulette going here. I've got a folder of wallpapers I usually use, but whatever. God, this is awful. Background, browse, there it is. Oh, lovely. May as well use it for the lock screen as well. I usually use a different picture for the lock screen, but you got to change this to picture. Go to browse and click on that. You know, while I've got your attention, let me tell you a few other things that I like to do. So you press Windows key and then E and it brings this open. And you notice it opened to this PC. What I do is I click on View, go to Options, and then you can tell Explorer to either open to this PC or quick access. I much prefer opening to this PC so I can see my hard drives. And then I always come over to View and say, show me the hidden files and folders. So everyone submitted stuff. Let's go through all the utilities I like to use on my system. I'm blinded. I'm going to go away. This is probably my favorite thing right now. You know, Microsoft, they purchased GitHub. and they uploaded some cool stuff on here. This is Windows PowerToys. This is PowerToys. You can run this administrator if you like. I'm going to do that. The main reason I download this, well, it's got all these cool different tools that I'll show you, but my favorite is Fancy Zones. Now this allows you to create your own snapping grid. Coming down, tell it to override Windows snapping, Windows left, right, Windows up and down, relative to the position, up, down, left, and right, yes. And I can move windows between zones on all monitors. I'm going to do all those things. You can also set this to have windows that you open and close pop back into their zones. That's, if that's something you want. And just a few more options down here, but now check this out. So layout editor, picked that one. Now we'll just show you right now. That's fine. I don't need to create a custom one right now. I'll just show you how this works. So now we've got our 3 zones right there, right? But that's all we have. We have those 3. Let's say we want to get a little nerdier. So all right, so let's create some zones here. Custom layout, create new custom layout. You can do a grid, and these will not allow you to have overlapping zones, or you can do a canvas, which is what I kind of like to do. I'll just, whatever, we can title it something. They still snap to one another. So let's say I want to do a couple that are just about half the page, and it displays the pixels on there. So you can, if you wanted it to be exactly half, you could come over and grab this one and move it a little bit. And you can make it exactly half. So you could if you wanted to. I'm just doing a quick show and tell. Be careful not to click save and apply too soon. So there's my 3 zones. I've got one full screen, one half and half. Let's do one more zone just for grins. This is it down here. Zone number 4. Why is it like this? I don't know. Save and apply. There's my custom layout, and I can select that one. And now let's show you how we snap around. So we've got there full, and then right. And then we've got this weird zone here I made. But you can make any snapping grid you like. Love that. Color picker, check this out. So with color picker, you just press, you can set your own shortcut key, but Windows and Shift and C. And now we've got a little color picker. See? It'll go anywhere on anything you have open. Look at that little orange color there. You click on it, and it brings up the hex information, RGB, HSL, everything you need. So that's really handy. Some File Explorer add-ons for seeing different different files, and then your image resizer tool. Let's say I've got this picture here, and it's tiny, but I need it to be tinier for an avatar. I don't know where I found this picture, but you just right-click on it, and you can come down, and now we have a resize pictures dialog, and you can change the sizes here to whatever it is, and you can even change the the 90% quality level JPEG. You can make it JPEG, TIFF, PNG, whatever. So super full-featured. I don't need that picture. There we go. Maybe I do need it. I don't know. Keyboard Manager lets you actually remap keys on your keyboard. Power Renamer. It's a shell integration tool to help you rename things. I haven't used this much. All right, PowerToys Run. If you've ever used Launchy, you remember Launchy back in the Windows XP days? Well, that's what it is. Someone was like, I really miss Launchy. You press the Alt button and the Space button, and it brings this up, and you can just type, well, I've clicked off of it. You can just type whatever you want. Foobar, there we go. And well, I don't have any stuff. I guess I haven't installed Foobar yet. I'll install that right now and then come back. You get the idea. We've got Launchy back. And then Shortcut Guide is just a really quick way to see all your different shortcuts. And to do that, you press Windows, Shift, and question mark. And that brings up your Shortcut Guide just to show you all the Windows shortcuts that you have. Pretty handy tools. I love PowerToys. It's like the first thing that I install now. And someone told me about this a couple months ago. I forgot who, I'm sorry. So get that. Then I have to have my music going, so I get Foobar, and I install my own custom skin on Foobar. Foobar allows you to play music locally, and there's several other things you can do with it as well. So we've got Foobar here. This is the skin I use. And I did make a video in the past on how to set up Foobar. My setup for Foobar has changed quite a bit. Let me show you, but I've got several new things going on with Foobar. If you want to, I don't know if there's enough demand for a full-on video on Foobar, but it's the best audio program in my opinion. Then now I'm going to show you my Nanite. I get Firefox, but I don't need Launchy anymore. Nothing from here. You can get Terracopy maybe if you want a better copy program. I'm kind of just okay using the one I've got here. Make it bigger so you can see it. I do grab Discord. Qubit torrent's fine. I like to install it into its own location, so then I grab VLC and the K-Lite codec packs. Some people will argue that other codec packs are better, but I also install Foobar into a folder by itself. So whenever you use Nanite.com, it will install these all with their default options into their default locations. I use 7-zip because it's the best zip program, and it works with your regular zip files, your RAR files, GZ files, whatever. Works with most, if not all, zip files and formats. I also get Malwarebytes, and I actually activate this because I want this machine to be nice and secure. Otherwise, the Windows antivirus is now no longer garbage. I grabbed FileZilla, Notepad++, and Putty. FileZilla is my FTP program. Notepad++ is just, I haven't made it dark yet. We can go in and customize our view and make it dark. But yeah, Notepad++ is just a much better version of Notepad, especially if you're someone who's going to be programming and stuff. I'm kind of disillusioned right now with all the PDF viewers and stuff, so I'm not sure which one I want to get for documents. I used to use Foxit, but I don't know anymore what my favorite one is. That's just the way of it. But you probably should grab one of these PDF viewers. If you want a way more powerful search tool, check out Everything. So just open up Everything and show you. So I want to look for, it's basically indexes all your drives so that when you want to look for something, it's instantaneous. And I really want to look for this goofy learning project we were doing in Unreal about a werewolf that was only half a werewolf. There it is. And look at that. It found them on my desktop. It found on my G drive instantly. Okay, then I grab Trumpet. Trumpet is a much better program to organize and see everything that's going on with your Windows sounds, and it makes it way faster to get to your Windows legacy sound. All I had to do was right-click on it and check that out. Now I can go over here and go straight back to my Windows legacy. When you're using the Windows stuff, it takes about 20 clicks to get here. Thanks very much, Microsoft, for making everything so easy. It's a different icon. You'll see I have 2 speaker icons right now. This one was up here. So what I ended up doing was making sure it's the Trumpet one, Trumpet, and I drag it down here so that it's the one up there, and then I drag the regular Windows sounds up here just to get it out of my way. So that's what I have down here, Trumpet, and it allows you to actually come and click on any program and tell it, I want you to use a different output, so you can have everything mapped to different things. I've done a video on this as well, so I'll leave it alone for now. Openo Shut Up 10. This is Openo Shut Up 10. And what this does is that it goes in and disables a lot of the telemetry and nonsense that goes on with Microsoft Windows 10. And one thing I want to, it went away. Oh no. One thing I want to note is every time you do a little update, like I did an update for Windows, and as you can see here, it's like, hey, some stuff is changed. So you can revert those changes. What I usually do is come up here to Actions and do Apply Recommended, only recommended right there. And this will go through and disable all kinds of telemetry stuff. And it'll, you can enable everything or disable everything, and it'll create a restore point for you so you don't mess anything up. But I would, every time you run an update, open Openo Shut Up 10 again. Go ahead and apply the recommended settings. Next up, I use Putty, and it depends on whether or not I'm going to install the entire Ubuntu Linux subsystem inside Windows, but Putty is just for SSH and stuff like that. And if you already know what it is if you're someone who uses it. There's Malwarebytes. It's just the malware antivirus program that I have running in the background. For some programs, I've had to go in and put, why is she out of focus? Yeah, I've had to go in and put some exceptions, like Unreal Engine. It kept detecting as a false positive, but Also for security, I use a password manager, and I used to use LastPass. And I am aware of KeePass, and I know a lot of people are going to recommend Bitward and a few other programs, which are fine. They do the job just fine. KeePass is probably the most simplistic out of them all, and it's free, but it works really well. I mean, as far as the interface goes. One of the things I liked about NordPass, and they are not sponsoring me for this, they have sponsored me in the past after I tried the app and made sure I liked it, but it uses the most advanced encryption, XChaCha20. And that's better encryption than anything else on the market. And there's a free version that lets you do everything, except every time you go to a different device, you'll have to put in your password again, which is a little annoying. So I ended up paying this just to make sure it's always activated on all my devices. But otherwise, you have full access to pretty much everything. It'll let you auto login to websites and all that kind of stuff. It's a password manager that does a few more things. There's some features in here if you want to take a look. But this is my favorite. If you want to use KeePass, I mean, I might have used this one if I hadn't switched to NordPass. I like this one as well, but I do like the encryption on this one. It is the best in the industry, so there's that. And I have not tried Bitwarden, but I know a lot of people are going to mention it, so maybe I'll try it and get back to everybody. All right, next up, if you want to maintain if you want to see the health of your hard drives, Crystal Disk Info. How about that? I tell you about the health. It's just like a quick overview of your hard drives that are installed, let you know if everything's running good. And you can get these Weeb editions too if you want to. Cheat Engine is not usually a program I install when I first install Windows, But I always end up installing Cheat Engine because a lot of times it does stuff inside games. It messes with the stuff that's going on inside the games. Especially for games like Shadow of Mordor or something like that, or even like, I used it for Metal Gear Solid 5, and what it really does is just go in there and mess with a few things, and it just allowed me to change my FOV. Sometimes you can do that. A lot of people use it for like cheating, getting infinite lives and stuff like that. It's kind of like a Game Genie, but it does more. So I usually end up with this at some point. Now this program, if you're not using SoundSwitch and you have like multiple things you need to change between, like your headphones and your speakers, and they're on different outputs and stuff like that, you're going to have to constantly be down here messing around with stuff here, changing things. It essentially just allows you to use hotkeys to switch between your audio sources. So I'm not using it on this machine because I'm doing something a little more advanced, but you know, it's pretty cool. I use MKV Toolkit. I'm not going to go over this too much, but it essentially allows you to repackage MKV files, which are video files that have packaged audio and information. So if you need to like swap out the subtitles, if you want to, you know, delete a few of the foreign subtitles that you don't, you're never going to use, maybe you're never going to use the Russian version, well, you can come in here and repackage that same file, resave it without the other, attachments and stuff. Add your own subtitles on top of it if you wanted to, like, couple all that together and repackage an MKV file. So if that's something that sounds like, oh, I really needed that and I never knew about it, well, now you know about it. The last thing that I love is Unlocker. So Unlocker, have you ever like gone in and tried to delete a folder or something and it's like, nope, can't delete this folder, these files are in use, sorry. Nope. Well, if you just use Unlocker, it's going to show you, okay, these are the things in the Explorer that are keeping you from deleting, like all this stuff, and you can just kill these processes or unlock all of them and then be able to delete things that are in the folder. It's so annoying whenever there's something in the folder that's stopping you from deleting it. All right, now my gaming stuff. I always install GOG Galaxy. That's what I use mostly. I install RetroArch. And RetroArch, let me just show you what I've got. I've made some videos on this. It essentially is a nice interface for all of your emulators. Like, I'm talking all of them, including the best DOSBox emulator is only on RetroArch. And I did a whole video on that, so you can watch that later. It's running from my NAS because I'm crazy. All right, so here's RetroArch. There we go. And you've got this version, but if it shows you got all your games. Let me scroll down. Come on now. This version of the operating system's made, or this of the GUI is made essentially for Corpse Killer. This is just made for a controller. All my DOS games here. No thumbnails. We got thumbnails for Doom. And we got some thumbnails for Doom. But if you want something that's a little more Windows friendly, press F5 and wait a second. It'll relaunch itself. And then we have the Windows interface. Much easier to deal with. I need to get on my my game with these thumbnails and stuff over here. World Heroes 2, download thumbnail. Is there any? That's a demo, who cares? So this is just like the best program. Emulation and stuff. Then of course Steam. I mean, everybody uses Steam. Don't even need to talk about that. Revo uninstaller. So why would you use this as opposed to the regular Windows installer? This will search for leftover registry entries and just remnant files that are sitting on your hard drive that seem to be associated with whatever you've just installed, so you can remove everything completely. Just make sure that you set a restore point. It'll ask you while you're doing all this stuff, hey, do you want to make it a restore point? Just go ahead and do that in case something goes wrong or goes weird, but yeah, whatever. You can get the free version. You don't need to pay for this or whatever. Okay, I have to install the Epic Game Store because I use Unreal Engine, but that's yeah, whatever. And now as a bonus, an add-on that I think that you should add to your Firefox. It's called Disable JavaScript, and let me show you why you need this. So a lot of times someone will send you a news article or a link or something, and it'll link to like the Washington Post. Let me just reload this page to show you what it's like. There we go, Washington Post. You start reading, stuff starts, and you're like, cool, I can read this. And you're like, oh, there's nothing here. Like after, just one paragraph. And then it does this garbage. And I've seen this happen on all kinds of different websites. This is JavaScript. And I click the button up here to toggle JavaScript. Well, that image was JavaScript, so whatever. But hey, now I can read the entire thing. Isn't that handy? You can click all over the Washington Post. I'm such a victim of getting caught and being a statutory rapist. I'm a victim. Yeah, that's them. Anyway, now I can read about this idiot. I'm so glad that I disabled JavaScript. Enable it again and like, look. Oh no, nothing. That guy's ugly. God, imagine being 17 and dealing with that. Oh, I'm so sorry. Well, that got political. Whoops. Thanks to Bob Keys for making this video possible. Thanks to all of you out there for sending all these interesting suggestions in. And again, I'm going to be looking at some of these suggestions. I've got a bunch of them here. I've been like organizing them, as you can see here. I'm organizing some of the... Ooh, chocolate is pretty cool. I'm organizing some of your suggestions, and I'm going to install them, see what I think about them, and tell you if I think everyone should be using your suggestions out there. So thanks again, everybody on the forum, for doing that. Head over to epicpants.com, and the camera's not working. Well, get a mouse or something, or hey, I could show you my shirt. Get one of these Jesus Christ Denton shirts. See you later. Goodbye, everybody. Thanks for watching.